Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to C2L. I'm Tommy Day.
I'm Kava.
Welcome to Chennai to Lagos. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary. We've been married for one year.
Yep.
It doesn't feel like that?
Not at all.
But most of the time, what am I saying? All the time, when we create content, we're basically speaking to you guys, our extended internet family. But today we felt that we could look deeper into our journey and ask ourselves some really interesting questions and have some really interesting conversations.
Yep.
So today we will not be speaking to you. We will be speaking to ourselves. How are you?
I'm good.
How are you feeling?
I feel nervous.
Yeah. It's interesting doing a video and looking in your eyes like this deeply. I'm already feeling like this is going to be different. But happy anniversary to you.
Happy anniversary to you too.
Yeah, how do you feel? How do you feel?
I feel good. Like I'm actually, what's the word? In awe of how it's already been 1 year.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, like I feel like we just settled into the home like 2 months ago.
Just got a dining table.
Yeah, and like I feel like those things make you feel like you just got married.
Yeah.
But like you're already 1 year in.
Yeah.
So you're like, wow, okay, so that I didn't see that coming.
Mm-hmm.
But like I'm really excited, of course. And then I don't know, there's also that angle for, you know, you want to do something for like your 1 year anniversary,
Yeah.
but like you're like, okay, what do people do?
Exactly.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know what people do. Like, you know, it's not a birthday. It's so different.
It's not a birthday.
'Cause
Yeah, it's
like,
strange.
It's like celebrating a partnership.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're both involved. You know, like a birthday. I'm doing everything
Yeah,
for you.
yeah, exactly.
This Valentine's. I think Valentine's is more of me doing something for
One-sided
you.
kind of,
Exactly.
yeah.
But like this is something where it's like, okay, how do we approach this?
Exactly,
Yeah. Anyway.
exactly. But anyway, I'm just trying to curb my expectations the right way. You know, I think I'm happy with whatever we choose to do, provided like we planned it ahead
Yeah.
to do together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that said, I'm going to kick off our questions.
Okay.
And the first thing I want to ask you is that if you were to describe our year together in one word, what would that be and why?
I would describe it as I don't have an adjective, I have a noun. I would just call it home.
That's a beautiful word.
Yeah, like everything, like it's home. That's where I am. Like it's not like I don't know, I can't separate
Are
it.
we both getting emotional at the same
I'm
time?
already feeling I'm already feeling crying. What kind of English is that? Yeah, but I think that's how I would see it, because I have a home, like a physical home, but I also have a home in you. So, yeah.
That's beautiful. You're my home too. I didn't expect this video. I knew there's a potential for us to get emotional, but come on, it's just the first question. Your turn.
Oh, look at me just sitting, thinking I'm a celebrity on this interview. So looking back at our wedding, which was exactly 1 year ago, what's something you wish you did or had on that day? And I know your answer is going to be like, it was a perfect day. Everything was like, whoa. And so is mine.
Yeah.
But like, if you look a bit deeper, not to find faults, but
Yeah.
what's something you wish you had? It could be a material thing,
Yeah.
like you wish you had, or something you forgot to do
Yeah.
on that day.
It's a very good question. I think I wish I was more intentional about like sharing the stream with certain people. In the rush to, focus on like the people who could actually be there, I feel like without intentionally doing it, very important people who I believe deserve to see that video and be a part of it, I left them out. And I occasionally think about it. These are people who, like when you're getting up to your wedding, right? Like the idea is the people who are there are people who have either played a role in your journey or they've seen you. Like they're people like that, right? And I know there's the assumption, or there are a lot of people who expect, like, there are a lot of people who feel entitled to certain things.
Yeah.
And there are people who are not. And in my case, what I regret are the people who are not entitled but deserve to be there. It's just one of those things like, wow, I can't believe I didn't let them know. But in all fairness, so much was happening at the time. It was hard, but I think that's the only thing, really. I have no issues with the day. It was a pandemic. We made the most of it.
Yeah.
I think this is just the only thing.
Yeah. But I wouldn't say it's entirely on you.
Yeah.
I even feel like there was a point when the stream was okay and then something happened to the network.
And it blacked out and people in India couldn't see.
Yeah, like it just froze. And that's something we would have never seen coming. So it would only happen like once we were into the event.
Yeah.
And by that time, you're so carried away, you're thinking about different things that the stream is the last thing you want to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all right. That's my question to you.
All right. So what has changed the most about me in this year? What can you see now that, has changed most about me in comparison to the other seasons of our life?
That's a tough one, because I think sometimes when you see like that, like you see this person every day of your life, so it's like a parent seeing a kid.
Besides me adding weight.
No, I wasn't going to say that. I feel like you've gotten a lot more courageous in what you want to do.
Okay.
And I think it's maybe even as a result of you having your own family now, and more responsibilities on you, or just your faith generally. But I think you've gotten a lot more courageous in going after what you want. I feel like back in uni, you were just a gentle person, like taking it like as it came.
Gentle, full stop, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then like now it's like I feel like if you want something, you're not somebody who's going to just sit down and wait for it to be given to you. You're going to get the phone and make calls, and and I like that a lot about you, because I feel like I don't do that much.
Yeah.
But I feel like you do that for both of us. Like you're like, oh, you need that done. Okay, we're going to get somebody to do this for us, or we're going to get help from somewhere. And so I think you've gotten a lot more courageous in your ambitions, and generally even in your career. Like I've seen you build 2 businesses from scratch, and you might not be acknowledging these things every day, but like something like YouTube is a business on its own. It is something that helps our livelihood. You've built it from scratch. Your consulting career, you've built it from scratch, like absolutely no help, no networks, or like you just made calls. That's what you did. You just made calls. You just went online, found things, and then you did it. And because of that, we're at a better place as a family. And I'm so grateful that you're so courageous for the both of us.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was fighting back.
If you want to cry,
I'm not
you can
crying.
cry.
I'm not crying, but I'm just saying it's one of
They
those
know
things.
that you're going to cry.
Look at
They
this.
saw it happening.
When
They saw the video title, they were like, these people are going to cry.
Oh my God.
So obviously, we started the YouTube journey before we got married.
Yeah.
And then we obviously got even a lot more consistent after we got married.
Yeah.
But so essentially we've been putting our life out there.
Yeah.
And putting our marriage out there.
Yeah.
And that it comes with the good and the bad.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt like it's taken a toll on you, on our marriage? And if you ever felt like this is just not it for us?
How do I answer this? It's a good question. I feel because of all the things that I've wanted to do for myself creatively, I have always been comfortable with the fact that as much as I'm quite a reserved person, there's going to be a time in my life where things will be out there. It's the same reason why even in uni I was chilled, but if it came to a performance, I turned into somebody else, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those things that I probably had preparation with dealing with being out there, I always knew for some reason or the other that I will have a life that will be, in some sense, public facing, and I've accepted that. And I think because of that, I've really never had issues, which is funny because in person, like, I'm one of those people who, I don't take things personally, but like, I'm surprised how easily I laugh at things on the internet. Even like how I show you, I even comment. People will say something interesting, and I comment to them, and I laugh about it.
Yeah.
So I think somehow I've built really tough skin about that. I'm not worried. The only thing that I am worried about at times is that might affect you, and so it's just really playing this balance of like, okay, it doesn't bother me, but if it bothers your wife, how do you reconcile those two things? So I've never really seen it like it not being for us, mainly because I remember why we started. We didn't just wake up and say, hey, let's start a YouTube channel. Like, it's something that we had a progression, and we felt like God was telling us, yo, you guys, do something, create this thing. And we understand that was the instruction because, as we said in the other videos and everything, like before the wedding, that's when all the money and some of these things that we were waiting for, came in. So we could see that there's a reason for the instruction. So the way I look at it is that like YouTube, if we were called to do this for a reason, then the journey has been seen. Like, God knows what's ahead. So I'm honestly quite at peace on this journey, what's out there, because I don't feel like it's just me trying to seek attention. I'm not, like, we are not those kind of people that, like, we're not YouTube material, if that's a word.
We really aren't.
We're not YouTube material, right? I don't know if that's even a word, but I think because of that reason, I know that, like, there's a reason why we've been called to be in this space. And yeah, I'm just at peace with that, so no issues.
That's good.
Yeah. All right, what has fascinated you most about my Yoruba culture? And what have you come to love about this culture through our marriage? Understanding the fact that before there was an us, I don't know what your view of Nigeria was or what you knew about Nigeria, right? But since that time, you've gotten, you basically even sound Nigerian most times. So, like, what is it that you've come to really embrace about that culture, and what you, love most about it?
I think my love for the Yoruba culture can be equated with my love for you and the family. Because that is how I know the Yoruba culture. So I don't know if some things that I love about the family are Yoruba culture or just how our family works.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
That's a good answer.
So I think one of it is just the importance of family.
Yeah.
And I might not be able to speak for the rest of the Yoruba culture and all, but at least for the Akinyemi family, how family is so important. And like, it's like you're rooted in family, and then you go do your thing, but like, home is where you are, home is where your heart is, kind of thing. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's a dad and mom thing or if it's just if that is the culture.
Let me take it a bit further. You've met grandma, grandpa, you've met the uncles and aunties. Like, is there anything that you've noticed? It could just even be about, I don't know, it could be food. Is there something that has stood out about Nigeria? Let's even expand it to like Nigeria through the lens that we provide as a family.
Of course there's food.
Yeah, of course there's food.
Yeah, of course, like jollof rice, moi moi, like one of my favorites, gari. Oh
gari.
My gosh, I love it. I love it. And then even when I interact with grandma and grandpa, like, I just love how much there is, like, how much love they give, they show. Maybe that's a Yoruba culture thing. Just very emotive and very open with saying how much you love that person, how much you care about that person, and just being like, we miss you, we love you, like, what are you be like you can just see even the conversations go from just saying hi and bye to like very deeper, life
Mm-hmm.
conversations, and maybe that is something part of the Yoruba culture, I would say, just that
Okay.
emotive aspect,
Mm.
both even in the language itself,
Yeah.
just how it is,
Mhm.
and then also even in terms of like how the interactions are.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like there's no like this fake filter
Yeah.
or this like we don't show emotions in this, like
Mm.
we're very like
Yeah. Yeah.
just these people who don't cry and who don't show him like
Mm.
just raw and open
I hear
and
you.
like real. Yeah,
That's an interesting answer. I've never seen it that way.
yeah.
Okay.
What are you most excited about in our relationship during this season?
What am I most excited about?
Yes, well, you can give like a range of things.
Well, I'm most excited about the fact that we have started making like plans towards expansion. Try to say it in a way without saying like, it's not that it's happened. Yeah, but basically the fact and the thought of the fact that, wow, we started off as 2 and like who knows, it might be like 8. Yeah, I'm just joking, but yeah, I think that is also because when you get married, it's just obviously it's always going to be. It ends with just 2 of us at the end of the day, right? Like we've seen, like right now, even at the house, mom and dad are in a phase where they're back to being alone.
Like newly married again.
Yeah, it's like back to being alone, right? So, I think for me, it's just that. Like, I'm excited for that season. I'm excited for the fact that I feel like we're both finding ourselves in the center of like what we want to do. Like there's a lot more clarity about things. So as a result of that, I'm excited about what that will do for everything else concerning us. I'm excited about the fact that we are working towards getting our dog. Because clearly we needed a dog.
Yeah.
Like I can just see the moments in the house where you're sitting, I'm like, dang, I know that she wants a dog at this point in time. And at times when I come and I cuddle with you and you start treating me like I'm your dog, I'm like, we need a dog now.
Mom would not be happy listening to this.
We need a dog.
You're treating my son like a dog?
We need a dog. So there's that. And I think, what else? I'm excited about the fact that we are, in this season, as a result of all the plans that we're starting to make, very intentional about like what we're trying to build together. Yeah, so in the beginning, like there's not too much you have to think about, but when you start having these conversations and planning, it makes you enter, like you switch gears and you start thinking about life differently.
Yeah.
And the way you approach it is very, very intentional. So I'm excited that we are in the center of all that.
Yeah.
What do you love most about our relationship?
I think what I love most is just there's this connection we have, which feels, or the way I could define it is like a soulmate connection. It's this connection that's what I'm calling it, but like it just makes me feel very easy with you. Like I can be so silly, I can be like so chaotic and like a range of what I am, like all my personalities. they find like this comfortable spot with you. And then you in turn, you like analyze it so well for me and like process it for me and like give it back to me like, do you mean this? Like I like that level of like real interaction that we have on a day-to-day basis. And I just love that even as when I'm like at home with you, at times I find it so weird. I'm like, oh my God, this is my husband. Like, who's this guy? But like, it's so cool because it's like I'm living with my best friend. Like I always say that,
Yeah.
So it's like this friendship connection that we have where sometimes I'm just in the house and I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, but I don't even feel like I'm living with my husband, I feel like I'm living with my friend.
Yeah.
I've friend zoned you.
Wow.
Yeah.
You can't escape the fence. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what I love about us. All right. So we did couples counseling before we got married.
Yeah.
And it went really well. Would you be up to going back to couples counseling after a whole year, right? Like, yeah. And if yes, why? And if no, why? Yeah.
Well, I feel the whole purpose of the counseling that we even did, like even as it helped us understand, it's not to say that you're doing anything wrong. It's just to help you see things a different way, right? We're 1 year, we're babies, right? There are people who have been on this journey
30 years.
As long as we've been alive.
50 years.
You know?
Yeah.
Mom and dad hitting 30.
Grandpa and grandma.
Imagine
Yeah.
a whole 50. So, yeah, for sure. Especially the right people, like, the people that did it for us. And I think it's really it's good to we're just figuring things out on our own. And I feel that's the thing about marriage. There's no blueprint. Like everyone, you're going to get married, but no one tells you how certain things are going to happen.
Which is so weird.
Like you'd think that they would have
Because
prepared
up until that point, they tell you what to do.
Exactly.
They're
and then
like,
now
15, you need to be high school. 20, you need to be in uni. By this, get a job. By this, leave the house,
and
get
then
out.
after that, you get married, and then they start asking you, okay, when is this happening? Like you know what I mean? So it's one of those things. It's like you've not had preparation for anything, and you have to figure a lot of things out. And I feel like at times, especially in our generation, where there are a lot of things happening, like for example, our life is much different than,
when mom and dad got
exactly.
married. Yeah.
Like we're both working, we're both doing our things, so our own realities are much different than traditional realities, right? So I think it's also one of those things where it's nice to always talk to somebody just to help you understand, oh, okay, that's a nice perspective, I see. Because we can only do our best. We can only try and think about, this will work, or we think this is working, but it's always nice to hear from people who have been where we are to help us, ground ourselves and see that, or maybe just pause. You're thinking about it the wrong way. So that.
Yeah. All right. I like that answer because I was hoping you would say yes. Yeah.
What were some of the biggest fears you initially had about entering a relationship like ours? It doesn't just have to be about it being a relationship like ours, but just getting married, period. Were there any deep, not insecurities, but these deep weights you were carrying, and because of those things you were carrying, it was hard for you to look at marriage from a certain lens? I don't know. Are you getting my question? Basically, entering this...
Maybe like a bias.
Yeah, it could be a bias. It doesn't have to be anything that deep. But basically, before you get married, is there anything that you had at the back of your head? So, for example, like a traditional stereotype, people who are, let's say you have people who don't cook, and you think, oh my God, am I going to have to be cooking and I don't know what to do? I don't know. That's just an example. But the point is there anything that probably scared you about the idea of marriage that now you realize that, really, yeah.
I think that's one of them, the example that you gave, because before we got married, I wasn't cooking and all that stuff. Of course, I knew basic stuff like Indomie, eggs.
Wow.
We have a meal, guys. But even the day we got married, I was wondering to myself, on what basis did this happen? Can I feed this other human being in the most productive way, such that they could thrive in their life? They could be nutritious in their lifetime. But no, I was so why did I do this? Even on the day of the morning of, I was like, am I really ready? Am I really ready? But then even when we moved into the house and our kitchen didn't have all the stuff it needed to have, even then I was like, oh my gosh, what am I gonna make? So I think that's one of the things I entered with, is the weight of thinking that I would be cooking every single day, and I have to come up with a meal every single day for every single meal.
Yeah.
Those are 3 times 7, that's 21 meals. That's how I thought about it when I was like, oh, so I have to make lunch. Oh, so I have to make dinner. You know? Yeah, so like I got really lucky with that because you really helped me in that front. And I love cooking with you.
I love cooking with you too.
Yeah, and I don't cook 21 meals, which I'm so glad about. But then like the other fear that I had was just around, how do I put this? It's just around the whole aspect of like pregnancy and people having a stake at that.
Yeah.
You know? So, you know, right around the time we got married is when our channel was like, oh yeah, it was like doing its best, and a lot of people around the world were watching us, and I can imagine they were like, okay, this is an Indian, this is a Nigerian, like great, but what does your child look like? So I feel like they were already in that space where when they saw us got married, like they were already like, now, like, you know, every video we would post,
there was more interest in the idea of what a child would look like than actually the people involved.
Exactly. Yeah. Which I get, right? Because even when I see people like that, I'm like, wow, your child must be so cute. But then before like we got married, that's something I had at the back of my mind, like, oh my God, after we get married, the floodgates will open about this. Because you see, until that point, people never asked. Yeah. Because we weren't married, right? So it was just like general consensus that no, right now, they're not going to have a baby. But then like after, like 6 months after into like getting married and everything, it's like it happened, you know? So I had to deal with it. Like I was in the deep end, swimming against those huge tides that come my way. Yeah. And it's just so difficult because there's really nothing I could do about it. Like it just felt completely out of my control for people to be judging me and, you know, even telling me, don't be angry when we ask you questions like that. Like, don't be angry at us. Like, so now you even tell me how I should react to those questions. Like, so where do we draw the line? You know? So I don't know. Like that was something. Anyway, now I won't say I don't care. It still bothers me. But yeah, it's just life.
We're dealing with it together.
Yeah, we're just dealing with it together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary again.
Happy anniversary again. I love you more.
So guys, it's been a very interesting one.
Yeah.
We unpacked a lot of interesting things, and hey, this was fun. It was nice to actually just talk to my wife directly, you know. Yeah,
like as much as like we live together.
We do?
Yes, and all that. Like we don't necessarily have these conversations, right? Because like life happens, you work, you go to bed, you wake up. But like it feels nice to like do this intentionally. Like
and
it feels
on
so
the
therapeutic.
Journey. Yeah. This was awesome. So nothing else to say. Happy anniversary to us. Yes, and we accept all kinds of gifts. So hey.
Yeah,
you know
apparently we do.
But yeah, guys, thank you so much. If you've not already, like, subscribe, click the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything we have coming out this season, this year. Peace out. God bless.
Bye-bye.
Bye.